there's a ton of detailers, right? You got to do something that's going to separate yourself from any one other individual. A car wash versus a detail.
Yeah.
Very A through Z and very interesting.
So what's one of the worst experiences you had with a car?
Ooh. As me and my boy connected, we got the surveillance van.
Yeah.
Just got a pressure washer, put it in a fire hydrant, and we was cleaning cars for $25-$30.
What was the most you made in a day in your detailing career?
But it's all about networking and utilizing what you learned along the way to move forward. So if you got invited to an all-white party, show up in a red suit.
Hey guys, thanks for joining Hoopty Podcast episode 4. We got a very special episode here. We got our boy Vernon, part of Pullup Wash N Detail. It's a very big episode. We just met this guy. This guy has great energy and you guys are gonna love his story. So just a little background about him. He's been in the game for a long time. He's not one of the newbies just starting off 2-3 years. This guy has 12 to 13 years in the game, man. So I'll let him introduce himself, tell us a little bit about how he started and Vernon.
Yeah, let's get it. Vernon is my legal name, but most people call me Bubba. That started actually in LA. When I moved to LA, I got a cousin that started calling me Bubba. I like to cook and I like to eat at the same time, so that's how I started. But how I got into just cleaning cars in general is my father, he owned taxis in New York, like gypsy cabs. They call them OJs.
Yeah.
And he used to have me clean them. And I started with a bucket, a plaster bucket or a paint bucket, Joy soap and a sponge. Yeah. Fire hydrant in New York City. Yeah. Started cleaning cars just like that. And it stuck with me. But the thing that stood out the most is it was illegal. We didn't have TLC, it's called the Taxi Limousine Commission, being in New York. So he used to wash the car every day because if someone dropped some drugs or something in the car, we were reliable because we couldn't say we had a passenger previous. So he made sure that I cleaned the cars every day to prevent problems in the future. So fast forward, that always resonated with me, cleaning my car every day. A lot of people would tell you, man, you get in my car, I don't want you eating, greasy hands, anything like that. For the most part, I don't want that happening. But I wash my car every day and it just stuck with me. So after, taking walks of life, working and doing things, I moved to Florida in about 2006, okay? And in 2006, I said, I'm gonna get a van. What we spoke about, I call it the surveillance van or the cable van. I got that and just got a pressure washer, tank, and just tried to make it work, but I didn't take it seriously, right? So then I had an opportunity to go to LA to work. And I was like, I didn't know nobody. So I was like, you know what, let me do a little bit of rewind. I used to work for Orlando Health for 5 or 6 years in the business office. I did really great there, but it was pretty much stagnant, right? It was a Godfather system. I couldn't level up too much because everybody was old school. They was staying in their positions forever and nobody moved out. So I was just like, you know what? I can't do this no more. So 2013, 2015, I say 14, I decided to do the mobile detail and then take it seriously. I tried it, didn't take it seriously. I was doing Uber, I was doing Lyft. In between that, I would wash cars here and there. I didn't know about social media. I didn't know about funnels. I didn't know about interruptions. I didn't know about SEOs. I didn't know about none of that. So I had an opportunity in LA, and me being in LA, I have a cousin who's very successful in the music business, and she was one of the advocates for me to come out there and bring it. And she was like, listen, the people that I know, we're gonna network that way. So prior to me moving, I started planning and started getting, so I got to take this seriously because, some of these people were professional people. They were musicians, they're music execs. I said, I got to do something to separate myself from everyone else, right? So I started doing Google. You know, I call that my cousin and Bing. Google's my uncle and stuff. I started Googling. And as I was Googling, a company called Right Look came up.
Okay.
It's a company that makes skid plates. And I was like, all right, cool. I purchased this van, the 2017 Ford Transit Connect. And I was like, I asked them, would it fit in there? I was like, yeah, it was a fit. They gave me a 200-gallon tank, like a Briggs & Stratton generator, pressure washer, you know, just the basic material.
Yeah.
So I had to go to San Diego. When I moved to LA, I had to go from LA to San Diego, which is equivalent to like, it's a drive. It's like a 3-hour drive.
Yeah.
So I go there and I'm just like, it wasn't no room. It was just like a skid plate. Like it just slides in. It wasn't organized like how this van is.
Yeah.
I paid $8,000 for that.
Okay.
But after doing researching, learning, what happens, right? Your data comes on the internet, the cookies. I started looking around for other things. H2O came up. And that's how I discovered H2O.
Yeah.
But let me go back, because then I'm kind of going to go all over the place, and I guess we can edit that way. So I was like, I know all this stuff, but I really don't know. I don't know how to wax. I didn't know how to properly wax. I just knew, get a sponge, put some wax, and just do it that way.
Yeah.
And then I was like, what products can I get? And I researched Chemical Guys came up. And then when Chemical Guys came up, they have a master class that you pay one fee. They teach you how to paint correct. They teach you everything, how to use a buffer, products. They also have certified glass restore. I think they stopped doing that. And then when I guess, you know, I'm just a person, I'm a people person. Same way I like y'all, you know, just, you know, network. And then I started networking, you know, I knew a gentleman named Joey, another gentleman named Ricardo. Those were my guys. Joey, excuse me, not Joe, well, they call him Joey, but his name is Joseph. He was the manager of the main headquarters in Gardena, California. And Rico was like the assistant manager. And when I got there, when I was done with the class, I was like, yo, I got some money. I need everything to start my business. So I probably spent like another $7 to $10,000 on Chemical Guys product. But that's all I knew. It wasn't, nobody taught me this. It was just me networking, meeting people and just having conversations. As I didn't know what I always say this wrong, soft water, but it's deionized water. I'm sure y'all could put a blooper, like put the right thing, and then they would get me the soft water. So I built a relationship with Joe and Rico. I was like, yo, just give me all your products. And I probably spent 17. I had everything that they had, from all they waxes, top to bottom, all they sealants, everything, and that was just pretty much it. And me being in LA, I just started, you know, networking. Being in Chemical Guys getting water, one detailer come up, and it was like, and then I started seeing another place called 3D. Then I started doing 3D. And then after 3D, I started going to Shine and Supply. They're a little bit further north from LA. And then I just started using different products. Then I started networking with different people. Ricardo plugged me with the right people. Joseph plugged me with the right people. And then it just took off from that. So for the most part, I would say, this is just a words of encouragement for the young folks out there. I tell everybody, this is my number one thing. There's a ton of detailers, right? You got to do something that's going to separate yourself from any one other individual, even if you're doing the minimum of service. And what I mean by the minimum of service is, some people like to feel welcoming. Like if I went to New York and went to the Bronx, if that Chinese restaurant that I used to go to is still open to this day, and that owner Paul is there, he knows when I walk in, he's going to come behind the cage. He gonna know what I want. He know how I want my shrimp and broccoli. He knows everything. So it's the same thing. Anthony, listen, you know, how do you want your car there? So the minimum of service. So I say, how you stand out is, if you got invited to an all-white party, show up in a red suit. You know, separate yourself from anyone else. So that's how I always wanted to do. I strive to do things different.
Yeah.
I mean, you're gonna get the trends. You're gonna get the people like, the Instagrams. So what are you doing separately to separate yourself from any other individual? Okay. So that was for the most part. So that's what I always tried on.
And when you started taking detailing serious, you were out in Cali. That's when you said, I'm going.
Yeah, full-fledged. Okay. So then I networked in Cali. Things got slow. I went out there pre-COVID. Okay. There was a point that I was making $2,000 to $3,000, sometimes $5,000 a week. Oh, yeah. You understand what I'm saying? Because I'm talking about Cali was closed. I mean, I could get from LAX to Burbank in probably 25 minutes. Yeah. But now with traffic, it could be from an hour to an hour and a half, up to 2 hours. Yeah. So I was networking. I had high-end clients. I had big DJs. I had big music execs. So for the most part, things started slowing up. And I was like, my rent was not a couple, not a few. It was over $4,000 a month. It's very expensive. And gas was $6, $7 sometimes. Wow. It was $90 to fill this up. $90. Yeah. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go back to what I know. I'm going to New York. Okay. So I went to New York.
And what year was this? This was right after
2022, 23.
Okay.
And it was like, I went to New York. I was like, damn. So I went to New York. I'm like, yo, this is my city. I know mad people. Everybody know me. I'm gonna be good. Yeah. I dropped the van. I'm thinking, I'm thinking word of mouth because I never ran ads in. I never knew what running ads was. Yeah. And so, I just thought it was the whim. But come to find out, it wasn't what it was going. Yeah. It's not the same. So in New York City, they got, I'm going to mainly speak about the Bronx. They got a place called Jerome Avenue. Yeah. That's the west side of the Bronx, which is parallel to Yankee Stadium. Okay, which is considered. Oh, I should know this. Somebody's gonna laugh at me about this. I was about to say Ryder Avenue, but Jerome turns into, we'll get that later on. So Jerome, if you go down Jerome, I call that the slaughterhouse. If you go after the Cross Bronx, which is equivalent to Mount Eden or Burnside, between those two areas, from now you could get auto glass, you could get sound system, alarm, tint. You got all your mechanics. It's a slaughterhouse. You come off the highway, somebody's holding a sign like auto glass, and they figure it out.
It's like a junkyard. We got a place out in Queens where it's like you go to the junkyard. That's where you get everything. It's like the roads are bumpy. Like there's a bunch of
probably
mechanics.
Know by City Field.
By City Field, yeah.
Ain't that no more, brother?
That's true.
It's not that. It's gone. That was
half of the junkyard is gone.
Exactly.
They got 2 buildings that's going up. When I left there about 2 months ago, they're building a casino and a soccer stadium.
Man, it's gonna be crazy. So.
It's gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
So every other block, every 3 blocks, there's somebody washing a car.
Yeah. Okay.
Right? It's a challenge, right? Then there was another place called Westchester Square, which is close to 3rd Avenue, 149th Street and 3rd Avenue. Okay. It's similar, the same way. Or you go to Westchester Square and you go down Westchester. It's every other van. So I said, me and my boy connected. We got the surveillance van. Just got a pressure washer, put it in a fire hydrant, and we was cleaning cars for $25, $30. That wasn't me. I didn't want to do everything. Now going back to what I said, all white party, red suit, I wanted to stand out. I wanted to be different. I wanted to be that luxury. I wanted to bring to you. My motto is, as an exec, your time is limited. As a businessman, you're going to get a haircut. You like, look, how can I go get a detail and go spend an hour to get a detail right? I'm not talking about a car wash. You could go to the car wash and get something in 30, 20 minutes, vacuum real quick, windows, ins and out. I'm talking about door jams, nooks and crannies, A through Z. No cutting corners. Everything's right in between the slider of the chair, the driver's side. So a lot of people want to get their time back. So whether it's at school, whether it's at work, whether you're at the gym, there's nothing that this van can do. Just give me the van. Excuse me, just give me your keys. So that's most important. So I had to separate myself. So that wasn't me. I wasn't taking that seriously.
And going into that, detailing in New York, because I already saw it. I moved down here, 2023, 2024?
Yeah.
Right? And the crazy thing is, you said it too, I saw the car detailing boom right after COVID in New York. Like, I was not seeing nobody doing car details out there. Until COVID happened, everybody started cleaning cars. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. This is where the idea of Hoopty came to my head. I'm like, bro, this would be cool, you find a car detailer near you on Hoopty, you know what I'm saying? Because I saw it blow up in New York. And what I did see, a lot of these car detailers, they struggled when they were detailing cars in the street. Like, how did you do it, bro? Like, I saw cops were cracking down on people doing car details.
Yeah,
like,
so, I mean, we all live in a world called greed, right? Yeah. With money and the resources of who you know, you could get by. I mean, look at the world we live in today. People getting pardoned that don't need to be getting pardoned. It's all who you know. You got the bag and you're willing to blow it, you could get it done. But how I separated myself and what I did was I parked near a school. Why? You know why I parked near a school? Because it's called a drug V zone, right? And you don't want, I knew cops were active. So you know what I did? I went to the local precinct and said, listen, I want to wash your cars for free.
Oh, that's nice.
And where we parked at was the juvenile jail on Westchester. I should know all this. I believe, and I know a lot of my folks is just going to eat me up. It's on Westchester and St. Anne's. There's a juvenile jail, and there's also a Burger King on 149th Street and 3rd Avenue, off of 3rd Avenue. And to be quite honest, I call that semi-slaughterhouse too. We call those sidewalk mechanics. You go there, you need oil change, you need your brakes. Everybody got it done to get it done there. So going back to your question, I networked and I utilized me putting myself out there and said, yo, this is how I want to connect. So I connected with some sergeants, some police officers, some COs, and nobody really bothered me because when I was done, when my people was done, we didn't throw the garbage. We had garbage cans. We cleaned up after ourselves. We pressure wash and cleaned everything up. If there was a school, and the city's brutal. If you have a store and you got garbage in front of there, sanitation gonna write you a ticket. So that's how I separated myself. And I wasn't really out there because it was me and my man, we partnered it. And I didn't really take it serious because that's not really what I wanted to do. I wanted to cater to the luxury people. So fast forward, for the most part, what happened was from 2019 up until 2024, my mortgage on my house doubled. First it went up about $400 or $500. Then the second time it went up about $600 to $800. Then the third time it went up like another $600. And then just recently it went up $600. So I was paying about ballpark $1,500, $1,700. Now my mortgage is almost $3,300. So shout out to Mama Love. She's a flight attendant, and that house was we had flight attendants while we was here. We had flight attendants and pilots in the house, and we rent rooms. And my mom was like, "Yo, it's getting real. Y'all gonna have to put some money in." But I wasn't living in the city. I was living up in New York in Orange County, by Woodbury Commons. So my rent there was $3,500. So I couldn't do that. I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I thought about selling it. I didn't owe too much on the house. I mean, I've been in this house for about, maybe going on 11 years. And I was like, I'm coming back. So I don't like to preach religion. I just believe if you're a firm believer of God, if you're a firm believer of being spiritual, you do right for people, please, thank you, hello, goodbye. If you see a young lady or old lady coming into the bank or you go into the supermarket, you open the door for her. Even just this now, I got an order and you guys were willing to help me to bring the cases of water in the house. It shows how people are upbringing. I was like, I gotta move back to Florida, and I jumped on it.
Okay, So then now is your transition from New York coming to Florida.
And that has happened. I moved here this year,
Okay.
fully. And I was bouncing back and forth. I drove a U-Haul truck, and I drove the U-Haul truck like the last week of July. So I went back to the same thing, but I also had that light bulb in my head saying, don't think you know everything. I started networking, and then I'm like, yo, there's nobody that got soft water. Like, what the heck? What I'm gonna do? So when I first started, I was filling up for my house, but I took a RV hose, it's a thing you put on an RV, similar to like a reverse osmosis. So it could at least do that.
Nice.
That's how I was doing when I was filling up.
Yeah.
But then when I got the water bill, I was like, oh no. But it goes back to cookies and sharing your information. Black Viva Tech came up.
Nice. Shout out Black V Protect. Shout out
Ryu and George, those are my guys. So then that's how I do. So I started separating myself. Then I already knew, while I was in LA, I networked with a couple of my friends. Shout out to my boy Brendan, man. I watched that man grow, and we watch him grow. What he's currently doing, he does podcasting and stuff like that. But at the same token, I knew what funneling was. I knew what interruptions was. I didn't know what was SEOs. I didn't know what Google Analytics was. So after doing that, I did my little research, and I was like, I'm going to do everything right here. Like, I'm going to figure it out. And I'm not doing it right now.
You're still learning.
I'm still learning, because it all boils down to $1. It ain't cheap. They want $6-7 a click when you pay per click, right? Then to run SEOs, that costs money.
Exactly.
Everything is about $1, right? Yo, shout out to my whole girl, and I'm just gonna plug everybody, and that's what it's about. So Dobo, right? Crystal, Taylor, her kids, Taylor Marie, Christian, I call them Poppy Shampoo. Shout out to y'all. She, it goes back to that community, like I was telling you. She was like, yo, I do these events where I go cook. And Jasenia started putting on virus events, and she started going.
Oh, that's the food truck that's at the...
So Dobo,
okay.
when you see me when I was sitting under there, that's a Soul Dobo is a Southern and a Puerto Rican combined infusion.
That's fire, bro.
It's amazing. It's amazing. So Taylor is from Florida, and she's Puerto Rican, and they both came together. They came up, and their stuff is just amazing. I mean, from probably next year around this time, they're gonna have a brick and mortar, whether it's a food truck or anything like that. So to make a long story short, she plugged me with Jasenia, and I started networking and going out and going to every car meet and doing the Christ and coffee, solidifying that, and that started helping me. I started posting reels. I figured it out how to run, what's it called, CapCut? CapCut, the editor app, and I started doing. I didn't do TikTok, and I started taking things seriously, and a lot of I made one post, and it touched about 12,000, and people started hitting me up, and then Black Viva Tech, they redid my logo because I had an older logo. When I did the logo, I didn't have my website correct. It was just a landing page. It wasn't a call to action. It wasn't funneled right. So if somebody books, I get alerted. I wouldn't know. It was getting an email. It was going to my email rather than it should have been going to my phone. So I learned. It's just, at the end of the day, you at the beginning, all through the last, if you rewind for the last 7 years, that testimony is I took what I learned along the way to become where I'm at right now. And I'm not where I'm at right now, where I want to be. But it's all about networking and utilizing what you learned along the way to move forward. So, and that's what brought me, and that's how I met you brothers.
And I mean, that's a fact. Like you mentioned, as humans, we're always learning. Nobody's gonna know it all. Even the smartest person is not gonna know everything. So we're always learning along the way. And as you mentioned, all your user experience, you're still learning. You're still doing these things, marketing, and these other factors to grow your business. Essentially, that's what you got to do nowadays. You just got to use social media, use these SEO and all these other things to grow your business. So really, when you moved down here, what was, like, how did you get your first 10 clients? Like when you moved out here to Florida?
I'm gonna go back to my resources, right?
Yeah.
Right? Word by mouth, right? I really didn't. I couldn't sleep at night.
Yeah.
I purposely left my van outside. So when people, because in my neighborhood, there's another community behind my neighborhood. So that street right in front of my house, that another neighborhood, all the cars go that way. Right?
It's like a billboard.
It's almost like a billboard. So the cars go that way, people started calling me that way.
Nice.
I wanted my numbers to be larger, and then the website, and then people started going to the website and booking. So I got my 10 clients from word by mouth. Going back I reached out to some of the people I worked with in the hospital, and then my neighbors, and then just, it was a ripple effect. Most people want things that they can't have, right? And it's like if I was detailing a car right now, the neighbor's like, and you're gonna see you may not see it, but somebody's looking out the window, it's like, yo, John is getting these people coming over here, they see the foam cannon, they hearing the pressure washer, they seeing the vacuums, and most of the time, either people that aren't sociable, they're not gonna come out. They'll wait till you leave or ask John, like, yo, those people that was at your house, asking, or some people come out like, you detail cars? Hello? What am I doing, right? And then that's how it is, it words by mouth. So then I started running ads lightly, and then it just connect, man, just connect. And I don't think like how we met was an accident, right? Yeah. Because you went to various events and you promoting a really huge opportunity for other details to be around. Whereas if you want to look for a detail, you're going to have a platform that you're going to find the best detailers around.
Exactly. Yeah.
And by the way, I am on Hoopty. Shout out to Hoopty.
Shout out Bubba. Pullup Wash N Detail.
Yeah, you got to do it, right?
Yeah. He's on there, Hoopty.com.
I got to build the platform and put my price in and get it on there, but I'm gonna get it right in the next couple of days.
Yes,
but
sir.
I said, I seen your energy, what y'all was doing, and I said, I gotta connect with these brothers.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And before I said I was gonna sign up, I sent y'all a DM and I said, hey, I'm gonna sign up.
Yeah.
Can we have a conversation?
Yeah, for sure.
Just so I could formally meet.
Yeah.
And the rest is history. This is why we're here. We started networking.
Yeah.
And that was that.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because it's a small world. I'm not sure if we said it. So we're almost like from the same town. We're from New York, from Queens. So it's like, when we were talking, we had that conversation. It was like, yo, we had so much things in common. We're like, nah, we definitely gotta, like, we clicked automatically, man. I feel like when you speak to another native New Yorker, man, it just clicks. Clicks,
so
man.
let me correct you a little bit, because I will get eaten up with that. Okay. Let me correct you. I am from the Bronx. Okay.
My fault.
Shout out to Queens. There's no disrespect for Queens, right? When my mom got successful and she started doing well for herself, we moved to East Elmhurst, Corona.
Okay. Yeah. Oh,
right?
okay.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. That's what we're from, Corona.
And I was probably a freshman in high school. But I always rep the Bronx. You understand what I'm saying? But shout out to Queens. Like, I got friends, I got connections there. And I'm like Junior Columbia Burger.
Oh, yeah.
They got them out here, Columbia Burger. That started in New York. Yeah. All the heavy Salvadorian, all the heavy Colombians. Jackson Heights. It was a mix, used. Like, you could get any culture from halal, Spanish food, Arabian food, Chinese, Flushing,
everything, bro.
Hibachi. Then you got Freshfield Farms, the Brazilian steakhouse, all that. But I just had to correct, because I know my folks.
No, for sure.
Definitely.
But that's the thing, we had
a connection.
That first call, that when we first spoke, man, we so many things in common. It's like you're also into sneakers, I'm into sneakers. We click like that, and we really appreciate you joining the platform. One of the first detailers on there is like, that's what we want to do. We just want to create connections and just grow together, basically. So We want to say thank you once again, man. So.
Yeah, but no, thank you. Because you know what? It goes back to what I said. We could rewind this, y'all could pull it, y'all could pull it over, clip this section too.
Yeah.
It's about networking.
No, for sure, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And when you network and you utilize this time, like I love money, cool, but you could have all the money in the world.
Yeah.
Right? If no one loves you, my brother, you broke.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Right? There ain't too many people that could call somebody and say, listen, I'm tired. I was at the club drunk. Can I crash on your couch?
Yeah.
Some people will be like, nah, you know, my baby mom's or this or something's going on. But my point is, y'all network, and I appreciate y'all giving me this opportunity because it's going to help my business grow and it's going to help y'all.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
When you don't have a community and you have a village, when you have a village and a community that you come together, it's a wrap.
No, it is. Yeah.
And I probably don't want to touch on this topic real quick. Like, I'll just say this. It's not about left or right. Who you choose, rich or poor. If the middle class people came together and as raised as a village to come to go against the big people, they will have, that's what they want. So they want us to divide. They want to divide us, right? They want us to be. They want to look at the top, and we arguing. Oh yeah, you left. Oh, you're right. You know, oh you Mexican, you Dominican, you Puerto Rican. Oh, you can't mess. You can't associate with this person. They want to divide us. So if we continue fighting and going back and forth,
we're not going nowhere.
we're not going nowhere.
There's no progress.
But it takes us to connect, and then a small conversation. Y'all was within not even a mile. I'm talking blocks.
Literally, yeah.
Yeah, that's a
Blocks.
fact. Yeah, that's a fact.
And communication is coming together. So I'm forever in debt, excuse me, to you guys for giving me the opportunity to just speaking on the podcast. Because we don't know what it could take.
Yeah.
One of these, I could have said something, you could have said something, we go viral before our phone is clicking.
Yeah, that's a fact. Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
so the bottom line, folks, is you got to connect.
Yeah.
Saying is keep it circle tight.
Yeah. What is that they say? It's a saying, like the more hands you shake, the more, there's a saying that people say, basically, it's about networking, you know?
Yeah.
Your network is your net worth.
Yeah, there you go. But going back to the detailing, you literally were in 3 markets. You were in New York, you were in Cali, you were in Florida. These are one of the biggest states when it comes to in capita making money and in car detailing as well. You know, Florida is a sunshine state. There's always summer here, you know. For the car detailing, is one of the biggest markets.
Absolutely.
California too, the weather's good out there.
Oh yeah.
So comparing all 3, which one do you think is like the best? For you to tell car detailer, if you were to start off, like what market do you think is like the best out of those?
That's a hard answer. Because in LA, it barely rains. So you either got brush and you either got like, you know, sand and dirt and people cleaning their cars. Like I'm talking about, it really doesn't rain. And when I was living out there for the 4 years, I counted how many times up until one point it started raining. It was, people were like, this isn't usual. This doesn't happen like this until the 80s. But I counted within the 3 to 5 years, it rained 19 times. So you know, you can't ask me why I like my steak medium rare. I'm gonna give you why and give you the reason why. So that's a tough one. Now for business, Cali's the mecca where most of the products are made. The chemists are out there. The plants that make all these products, that's where they're at. There's some in Miami, there's some in, you know, Columbus, Ohio, and then everybody's coming up that's made in the US. It's just all over the place. So that's a hard one. So I would say California, man.
California? Wow. You would say that for the networking aspect, or because in a way, the environment too. Do you, like for example in Florida, a lot of people get ceramic coatings, right? Because of, you know, like the rain, the sun, you know, if it protects with the EV and stuff like that. In California, is that, what were like one of the biggest jobs or the most frequent jobs that people would book you for? Would just be a regular, you know, because the environment was, hardly rained out there, so.
A lot of it was maintenance washes for me. That's my maintenance wash, right?
Okay.
And a lot of people would do clay and seal. But there was a point when the brush fire, because it didn't rain, coming up for further, like in San Bernardino, where the mountains is at, a lot of those ashes and the smoke was traveling with the wind. And then, you know, it was like, it's almost like if you went through a dirt road and all the dirt would be in a cart, it would be ash. So I would get like, hey, you know, the fire is smoke, can you come get my car? And then, you know, I started doing that, paint corrections and ceramic coatings. And it really depends. So people gonna spin the bag. And in LA, and it's like Miami, right? You know, in LA, you either went out there to be a musician, actor, or you just caught up. You either real or fake, or you bluff mastering, right? And most of the time what end up happening is they wanna be an inspired actor, they don't make it, then they turn into the drugs, and then they caught up into a whole bunch of things. So it's a lot of bluffing, but there are people that's getting some serious paper. And some of the clients that I had, they got some serious paper. And I'm talking about, I had a gentleman, he had 30 cars. And he had better cars than Jay Leno. Jay Leno had a lot of cars, but I'm talking about Evo 190. You know, which was a mimic for the M3. He had Porsche Rally Porsches that was in races and won trophies for worth $1 million. So I was at his house every Tuesday. And when I show up, he was like, all right, clean a Porsche. I would clean 7 cars. And I would be there from 7 in the morning to sometimes 7 at night, cleaning all his cars. His dailies. Then his wife and his kids would bring the car, spin the bag every week.
Not bad.
So let's talk about that a little bit, because you just said that. He's like, I'm curious now, man. So what was the most you made in a day in your detailing career, if you don't mind saying?
Yo, shout out to my son Khalil. My son, he moved from Florida to LA in COVID, and in LA, they were doing everything online learning. So I used him to advantage. He was like my guy. He helped me. I took him with me. We had the hotspot, and then we had the hotspot in the car, but he had the laptop on the dashboard, and we were still cleaning cars. So one day, we probably made $4,000.
$4,000. How many jobs was that?
It was like 10 to 11 cars.
Damn, that's crazy.
And all it's about, right, is if you know somebody who needs something, or you see a problem with the car, you provide that solution. I used to work in 42nd Street for Athlete's Foot. Remember Athlete's Foot? Athlete's Foot was bought out by the people that own Champs and Foot Locker, right? But it was big because Central Park was there, so people used to jog. But we had to sell the cleaning products, the gel soles. But when people came to try it on, what I would do was I would put the gel sole in one sneaker and then the other one. And then when they put it on, they'd be like, yo, why does shoe feel different? That was my way, right? Now tying that into cars, what I would do is I would either paint correct a one section or I would leave it like the wax still on, and then somebody be like, yo, what is this? And wipe it off. And then they'll be like, why is this one shinier than this one? Or put a SI2 sealant or a silica sealant on a section on a fender and leave it wet or pour water and show them, and then upgrade that. Like, look, it's $25 more. So the goal is you come to buy one thing, but you got to upgrade to give them what they need, right? What's going to help them. So it's all about upselling. So that's how I was able to do that, constantly upselling.
Nice. No, that's a good point. So going back to the 3 different markets, what are things that, like, for example, you would say Florida's 2? I know LA is number 1 for you. Florida's 2, or New York? Which one is taking that second spot, New York or Florida, in your personal opinion?
Yo, ain't nothing gonna beat New York, right? Those fellas ain't doing it right out in New York. It's a slaughterhouse, it's a swamp. You know, one thing I learned from the chemical guys is color coordinated towels, right? These guys are cleaning the same areas, rims with the same towel and wiping the windows. Like, where they doing that? And then sometimes it may look clean. Then the next day you come out, you look clean at that time. It's swirl marks, smudge. It got the tire dressing on your windows. It's a mess. So I like New York because of the hustle. But to go back to what I said, standing on separating yourself, Florida would be my second choice because people, the Sunshine State. You having the opportunity to clean your cars, the weather. Because once it get winter and it starts snowing, people not washing their cars like that. Mobile detail slow down, but they out there.
Yeah.
Because you know what they doing? They taking a heating pad, breaking it up, putting it in the water, and heating up the water. So when they spray the car off and it's cold outside, you putting your water and you rinsing your water off to clean your mitt. Now you got warm water. So they still out there.
What separates a car detail to go into something like that, right? To just getting a car wash at a mobile car wash. Like what actually
that's New York.
So
in America, it's about fast pace. America's super fast, right? And we just, everything grows fast, right? Give you an example, like there's a company called Chick-fil-A, right? The goal is McDonald's, they all there, coffee, Starbucks, Dunkin' Donuts. The whole goal is for you to get a meal in under 3 minutes. You go to the drive-thru, you order your food, you pay, you pick up what you, and you go. Everything is fast-paced. Detailing and a car wash is the same way. It's turnkey. The key with that is you going in, it's fast-paced. You want to get a car wash, you going out to dinner or you about to go to a wedding. Honey, go wash the car the day before, you go get it in. You pay a package, they got their tiers, right? You just want the outside. Or do you want the windows or you want tire shine? Or do you want Armor Oil on the dashboard? Or then, you could get it waxed. It's quick, right? You could go there, 30 minutes, get it washed. They dry it off. They're not paying attention to detail. Detail is when you provide somebody details to get from point A to point B, before a navigation was around, I'm talking about MapQuest. They're going to tell you, make a left on, where the McDonald's at. They're going to give you the details. So details is getting from the nooks and crannies, door jams, cup holders, in the crevices, the AC vents, doing the trunk liner, doing the trunk, doing things that they don't. So that's what separates a car wash versus a detail. Very, very A through Z and very intricate.
That's a fact. And something that I noticed too, when I've ever paid somebody to detail my car, bro, the car lasts clean for a minute, like for a good 2 to 3 weeks. But when I do a regular car wash, it doesn't. You know what I'm saying? Like it's probably the detailing product that they're using is more expensive. So, for example, they might have a little bit of ceramic coating. Some product, the shampoo, they have a little bit of ceramic coating where, the water doesn't stick and, just rains off and it lasts for maybe 2 to 3 weeks. But when you go to these regular car washes, the product that they're putting in your car is not as good because it's not good quality. You know what I'm saying?
Know why though? It's a business.
It's a business. Yeah.
Fast paced.
Yeah.
The whole dude is like they cutting down the soaps. Mm-hmm. They using the minimum. Yeah, they do it with fuel. They do it with gas. When you go in these gas stations, they put in water. Yeah. You know how they say, my car smoke is putting? Bad fuel. Yeah. They stretching the things out so they can make more money.
So you come back the next week and just do it all over again.
The stuff, the products, if you got a cold, the products is just going to get you by. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You got to go to the doctor. You got to go to the real detailer to get clean.
Exactly.
You got to go to the doctor. It's the same thing with the doctor. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. You go to the doctor, you got a cold. There's good doctors, there's bad doctors. There's good detailers, there's bad detailers. Mm-hmm. There's a doctor that's gonna say, yo, bro, listen, here's antibiotics. This should get you right. I see you on your next physical. He knows that's not gonna work. Because you know why? He wants you to come back to build the copay. Mm-hmm. It's the same thing with the car washes. They know these things ain't gonna work. They get a wax, what they doing? You just doing it, I want it shiny. No, you still gonna see swirl marks. Yeah. You want to wax, you didn't get a clay. Mm-hmm. You didn't do the proper steps to do the right thing. Yeah. So it's the same thing. People know it's just a turnkey business. So if you go into a detailer, question your detailer. Mm-hmm. And there's things that I don't know. And if I don't know, you know what I'm gonna say? You know what? I don't know that. Yeah. Let me reach out to my resources and find out what I need to know about it. There's a ton of things that I don't do. I have weaknesses, but one thing, I go A through Z. Yeah.
No, that's a fact. That's a fact.
So, Vernon, I know you probably detailed over hundreds of cars. So what's one of the worst experiences you had with a car? I know you gotta have some crazy stories.
Yeah,
man.
we always ask somebody this question. Yeah.
So it's crazy. When I was in LA, they got something called Hollywood Boulevard. Yeah. That's where the stars, where the Walks of Stars is stretched. It's similar to like Grand Concourse or Colonial, right? And this is during COVID because restaurants wasn't open, and you had to either have the vax or they would only let 10 people in the restaurant. So they had this truck called Benny Hibachi. And that's where a lot of people, and then they had a lot of stores. They used exotic pops, like, exotic, like Fantas, that's like pineapple, tropical exotic punch, snacks. Exotic snacks, right? Yeah. But then I seen this mobile barbershop. So I walked up to this brother, my man said, and I walked up, I was like, yo, who cleans your cars? And he's like, nobody, I actually need somebody. I was like, yo, I detail cars. I was like, yo, I'm gonna detail this for free. And he was like, yo, I was like, yo, you do?
That's cool.
You detail cars? He was like, I cut hair networking. I was like, yo, it was networking, and I was like, yo, look, you could cut me and my son hair, and how much you charge? So he started cutting my hair. I started going to his house. This man lived in Compton. I may be saying it wrong. That might not be Compton, but basically it's the turf where the Rolling 60s was. And then I started going there, and then I started networking, and then one cat came up to me, and he used to always just sit in the driveway and watch me. He didn't say nothing. So one day I decided to speak to him, and he started kicking in, and we started kicking. The rest was history. So they used to be in a lot of rental cars and switching up cars. Yeah. And they bought me a car with bullet holes, blood in it. It was shot up and all that stuff. And it was a rental. And I had to clean it up.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's a first. That's a
first right there.
That's a first. I didn't think I was gonna go to that, but I'm like,
yeah. I've heard people joking about that, bro.
Yeah.
No, this is straight real.
That's crazy, and I believe you, bro.
But you gotta understand, right? I'm a New Yorker, heavy New Yorker accent, right? They know. I open my mouth. They know where I'm from. And then at the same time, when we was growing up, the East Coast and West Coast beef was heavy.
Oh yeah.
Biggie and Tupac, but that's not like that. But I'm in the trenches. Where the Rolling 60s is, like straight up. Damn. And LA is turf. You bend some corners, they don't know. Like, excuse me, you gotta know where you're going. And I'm talking about, I was in the heart of the Rolling 60s where my man was living at.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy.
That's crazy. But Vernon, if there's some kid, whatever, he wants to start car detailing, what is the roadmap that you'll give him? Like, what are the steps that you would give him if you want to start doing car detailing here in Florida?
Here's what I tell people, right? When I grew up, they didn't have YouTube. They didn't have Instagram. They didn't have Google. It was just starting. Like, they didn't have these opportunities. You either had to go to school or you had to know somebody. It's still like that, but if you really want to deep dive and look into something, it's called YouTube University, right? And it goes back to good detailers and bad detailers. It goes back to good doctors and bad doctors. Same thing with cops. You got a cop, you speeding, one cop might be like, yo, man, you speeding, man, I'm gonna give you a warning. You got another cop that wanna be like, he wanna search the car, he wanna put you to the thing, he wanna search you, he's searching your girl, he giving you a hard time, right? YouTube is the same way. You got a bunch of knuckleheads on there that don't know what they talking, they capping. They creating drama just for views and likes. You gotta use your best judgment and find out who's doing detailing what. You understand what I'm saying? And follow them and get your information. Or go take a class. Go to Black V Protect. They offer a class where they could do a paint correction class.
Yeah.
Okay? They show you a wax, a basic course. Go out, YouTube, Google, and look it up. Look up and start with there, right? I'm going to always stay on this. Do something that's going to separate yourself from anybody else. If you do the minimum service of anything, calling somebody by their name, please, thank you, hello, goodbye, putting an extra car scent, doing a better tire shine. You see a little scratch or a little stain, you spray a little bit, wipe it out, and you tell them, oh yeah, I seen that little ketchup stain, I knocked it out. Go that extra mile. Separate yourself from everyone else. So basically, to sum it all up, YouTube, take a course, figure out, what's your plan, create a plan, navigate, because most people, it's no difference when you board a plane, right? When you come through the jet bridge, there's two people you meet, right?
Yeah.
The stewardess and the flight attendants. When you look to your left, who do you see? The pilot, the pilot and the first officer.
Yeah.
They're not in there twiddling their thumbs. You know what they're doing? They're coding the flight. They're creating a plan because the plan is being created because of the simple fact that if there's bad weather when you're on your way to Chicago, they need to know how to go around it. Yeah. So if they don't have a plan, what's going to happen? Plane going to crash. Yeah. So if you don't have a plan of what you're trying to do, have that plan, brother. Yeah. Reach out to people. I mean, you sliding in a chick's DMs, slide into a detailer VM.
So what would be the starter kit for this new detailer? Like what products do you suggest for him to purchase when he's gonna do car detailing?
I wouldn't tell a starter person to take a specific product. Okay. What I would tell a person is, I would give you a suggestion. These are my top 3 choices. Yeah. Because works for you may not work for me. It's a process, right? There's a ton of detailers. Right? There's a ton of people making coffee. Yeah. Now Dutch Brothers is popping up. What are they doing different than Starbucks? Right? Dunkin' Donuts. Now you got a bunch of these people, doing. So I think for the most part, you need to figure out what works for you, use products and see what the results is, whether you like a shine, the tire shine. I don't like silica base, not silica, oil-based, I'll say oil-based tire shines. That creates that brown crud on the wall of the tire. I love water-based, but there's some water-bases that's shiny as oil-based. So there's some that I use. Shout out to Shine and Supply. Like, they decked out is $100 a gallon. I mean, that shit works wonders. Smells like bananas. It's yellow. You spray it. You let it sit, you wipe it to clean it up. It's amazing. So it all depends. You got to find a product that works for you and to give you the results that you need for the customers.
So what would you say is your top 3 products for Pullup and Wash? What is your top 3 products?
In terms of?
In terms of anything. Just detailing, what is your top 3 products?
I'm going to do Shine and Supply, decked out.
Okay.
That's tire shine, water base. My interior detailing is Chemical Guys Total Interior. The reason why I like that is it's a little bit citrus based, whereas it's gonna get clean on the surface of a cup holder and a door jamb, and you could take that same towel and accidentally spray the navigation screen, it may not streak up, depending how much you use. That's why I like it. Now you have some products when you spray it, it's gonna leave like a stain. You're gonna see a drip stain. It's gonna leave streaks. My job is to work smarter, not harder. So that's why I like Total Interior. My best product to another product is the chocolate. Some people call it Michael Jackson, which is a non-acid brown, like degreaser. Yeah. You can spray it on the body of the car for love bugs. You can spray it on the rim and clean up all that, and it's amazing. So decked out, Total Interior, candy shops, chocolate. Some people call it brown sauce. It's a whole bunch of things.
But all right, man, and we're gonna close this off right here. But now I appreciate you once again for taking the time and having this talk with us, man. We learned a lot here. But if you want to shout out any of your social medias, little quick
Yeah,
plug-in.
so social media is at Pullup_Wash N Detail. On TikTok, Yelp, Facebook is in the works. I want to do everything and roll out going back correctly. I just shout out to all the people that's inspired. I'm open. You could DM me. You could hit the link in my bio, email me, call the number, reach out. Any questions? I'm not a know-it-all, and I'm open to networking. I'm always willing to connect and do collabs with anybody. I appreciate the love, and y'all brothers, you know what I mean? Shout out to y'all, two brothers to come together and put this together, because I honestly believe down the line, within the next year, this is gonna be like, wow, remember we did this? You know, remember how we met? And it's just like that. It's just a story.
There we go, y'all. Shout out Pull Up and Wash. Shout out Vernon. Thank you guys for joining in. Make sure you subscribe, follow Hoopty USA, and don't forget to follow Vernon on all his media accounts. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, bro.
All right, bro.
That was fire.
I hope when it's editing, I hope it's just like, it just flows.
Nah,